listeners. I'm your host, KatFTWynn, and I'm here with...
River.
And we are continuing with Ruby, Chapter 5. Last we played, Red had killed himself.
Yep.
And never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. Let's go.
Go back.
No, this is just...
Oh, okay.
Every time, River.
Let us continue. Ruby and Tom enter the room Tom was trapped in earlier. The walls are covered with graffiti. There are numerous items here, including a shovel head, empty Red's spray can, Red's cane, and the remnants of another implement broken to create one of the two stakes. There is a metal box here. The pneumatic tube here is empty. There are doors to the north and to the south. Red is here. Red's face is grotesquely deformed with an impossibly huge grin. Red is impaled through the back of his neck and through the right side of his skull by large stakes. Red is covered in blood and not moving. Red's dead, baby.
Open the metal box.
Tom examines the metal box Red left. It appears unlocked, so he opens it. Ruby doesn't particularly want to disturb Red's body, let alone pull out thick wooden stakes jammed through his gray matter.
Look at screen/window.
The screen is just static. Ruby examines the items. There is a metal tool head that looks like it broke off one of the two stakes, but it does not appear useful in its current broken state. Tom opens the box. There is a note. To Spade, from Red.
Also pretty sure it's Ace.
Oh yeah, it is an ace, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Tom also notices a coin in the pile of stuff under the note. Ruby takes the cane and shovel head, but leaves the empty spray can and the metal tool head, as both appear unhelpful in their current state.
Read note.
The door to the north opens. A very large figure appears in the doorway. Ruby gets the very distinct impression that this individual is not friendly.
Ruby does a barrel roll.
Tom is distracted by the note. He reads it. Try and catch me now. Tom discards the note as he finishes reading. There is something under the note. Suddenly, a flash of memory returns to Ruby. The figure does not seem friendly. She remembers the figure. The figure is the one who put her in the locker.
Call Tom. Run out of the room at high speed.
Ruby doesn't see the bomb. Tom reacts quickly and runs from the room. He grabs Ruby and quickly carries her along. Tom runs as fast as his tired legs will carry him. Tom leaps from the room just as a huge, poorly rendered explosion erupts from behind them. The explosion blasts through the air above them, filling the room with heat.
Alrighty then.
Ruby and Tom appear unharmed. The building around them still shudders from the explosion, but it appears the imminent danger is gone. The room to the north appears to have been filled with debris. It is now inaccessible.
Let's consider the strength of the bomb. Has this perhaps altered our other surroundings?
The explosions seemed quite localized. The door to the north is inaccessible, and most likely, the room the explosion took place in is all but obliterated, but it seems most of the other rooms are unaffected. The area as a whole does not seem to have had a particularly strong reaction.
Thank the guy, too. Say something.
Ruby thanks Tom for saving her life again. Tom blushes slightly. He says it's what anyone would have done in that situation.
Would have been nice to have the coin back since we've lost our spare one. I wonder why Red needed it, anyway.
It would appear Red used the 2 coins as some kind of makeshift contacts for his homemade bomb.
The area as a whole does not seem to have had a particularly strong reaction.
Scratch that. The lights in the room suddenly go out.
Look at the tiny light outline.
There seems to be a doorway hidden in the wall. A light comes through a crack from the other side. Perhaps the door was jarred loose in the explosion.
Weapons out and listen.
The air is deathly silent after the near-deafening explosion. Ruby and Tom draw their scalpel and crowbar, respectively.
We should ask Tom if he recognized the Birdman, see if he has any experience with him, and see if Robbie and see if Ruby can remember anything more herself.
Ruby is drawing a blank beyond the image of being put into the metal cell by the figure. Tom says he recognizes them. It is the same figure that dragged him away to that room when he was suffering from arsenic poisoning.
It would be good to see how the other rooms change from the blast, too.
A preliminary examination of the room below suggests there have been no extraneous damage, but the lights seem to be off in most of the rooms.
Go to dummy room.
There doesn't appear any damage here, either.
Okay, wasn't expecting that. That actually scared me. Okay. The 2 red lights are...
Tom examines the glowing lights on the dummy. He can't tell what's causing the light. Ruby gets scared and backs away from the dummy.
Ruby, get a grip and stay the fuck away from that box.
Ruby can't resist. She looks in the box. The box is empty.
Try poking the red eyes with the scalpel.
Tom uses the sharp end of the crowbar instead and jabs one of the eyes. It makes a squishy sound.
Get out now.
Tom and Ruby decide to quickly vacate the room. They head back upstairs.
Open door.
Tom grabs his crowbar and sets to work opening the door. It's stuck fast, but nothing a little manly physique can't handle. The door unceremoniously falls off its hinges and reveals a bright room beyond. Ruby and Tom check the room for obvious dangers, take a moment to let their eyes adjust, and then enter. There is a door to the west. The door to the north seems to lead to the room where Red's body was just found. It is inaccessible due to debris.
Examine the room. Tom grabbed the booze on the table to regain strength.
Tom and Ruby inspect the room. There is a bottle of champagne on the table. Tom takes it. There is a note on the other table. Ruby will inspect that in just a moment. On the north wall is the doorway to the room the bomb went off in. The heavy door has been blown to pieces, but seemed to protect this room rather well from the blast. The doorway is marked "Holding" by a sign above it. There is a water cooler here. Beside the cooler there is a set of metal shutters, which are wrapped shut at the base with barbed wire.
Drink the water.
Strangely, neither Tom nor Ruby is very thirsty.
Examine the hole below the vents for treasure. Arr.
There appears to be something in the back of the hole, but it's wedged in there good. Ruby can't get it out with her bare hands. She'd need some kind of precise implement to grab it.
Examine note.
Ruby examines the note. It appears to be some sort of official document. Much of the text has been blotted out with a marker. This note, it's about Ruby. Subject, Ruby. Gender, female. Age, redacted. Next of kin, none. Status, medically viable. Affected condition since birth. Cell number 7. Recommendation. Ruby's redacted makes her an ideal subject. She has no other injuries or medical conditions to speak of. She will be redacted until a proper treatment can be discerned. It should be noted that in an emergency, redacted, no family, redacted. Willingly signed onto program, redacted. Test results pending, redacted. Click and read.
Oh, I was hoping I could go down.
Great care must be taken to avoid injury during treatment, redacted. Has been forewarned of the potential risks and received proper education on the dangers of redacted treatment. Has never responded to redacted treatment before. Signed F. Deceased. Signed Ace.
But Ruby is still alive. Still alive. Tell to...
No. Tom mustn't know. Tom can't see this. Ruby hides the note in her pocket.
Oh, come on now. Stop endangering poor Tom. Tom must know. It's dangerous. It could kill Tom. Or it could get Tom to kill Ruby. Or leave Ruby. Only truth. All truth. Whole truth. Otherwise, they're both doomed. Tell Tom. Get the object using either the crowbar or the cane.
It won't work. The hole narrows at the end, and whatever's in there is wedged. It would need to be pulled out, and neither the cane nor the crowbar can grab. Tom offers to open the bottle of champagne with Ruby.
Drinking Fountain is not amused by Tom's shenanigans. This place is Sir's business. Tell Tom... Excuse you. Tell Tom that he can open it after they escape.
Tom agrees. He was just trying to be upbeat. The champagne will taste all the better when they're out of here. Ruby inspects the objects on the wall. She finds on the shelf 2 walkie-talkies. Both Tom and Ruby take one. Players gain ability to direct Tom or Ruby. The metal shutters are bound tight with the coiled barbed wire. No amount of force from the crowbar will rip them free, and they can't be untied or unwound, not with bare hands at least. The door to the north leading to the bombed-out room is completely blocked with debris. Even Tom's manly physique wouldn't be able to clear a path. The stained wooden door to the west is locked. It appears to have a lock which is linked to the adjacent card reader.
Smash it down. Fuck the card key.
The card key locked wooden door is no match for Tom and his crowbar. Take that logical progression of puzzles. The door turns to splinters. A spiral staircase leads upward.
Have Ruby scold Tom for such harsh actions.
Actually, she's pretty impressed. Ruby compliments Tom for his harsh actions. Tom seems pleased.
Yell up the stairs.
There's light coming from upstairs, but after Ruby calls, there's no response. Tom shivers warmly as an after effect of his rush of manliness.
Maybe set a new frequency for walkie-talkies.
A clever idea. Tom and Ruby set a new frequency together to avoid being listened in on.
Wasn't there an entrance next to Red's hideout?
The room with Red's hideout and the monitors is blocked by a collapse of debris. Both that room and the room with the bomb are inaccessible, at least for now. The consensus seems to be either to go upstairs to the boarded-up hole, or go to the boarded-up hole in the other room. Who should go where? Remember, now that they have walkie-talkies, they can split up and work faster, while staying in touch.
Tom, crowbar to the boards. Ruby, take the stairs.
With their walkie-talkies in hand, the two split up. While Tom goes to pry off the boards, Ruby heads upstairs. Because the staircase curved around, this new room is directly above the room Ruby and Tom were just in.
Look at the fetus thing.
There is a fancy glass display case here. Inside is a strange statue of polished, smooth green stone. It resembles some kind of almost fetal creature. It is very unsettling. Inside the glass display case, there is also what appears to be a severed finger.
Someone tried to steal the statue and got his finger chopped off. He then ran into the infirmary to patch himself up whilst bleeding violently. Tell Tom what you see, and have him report back to you once he opens the boarded-up hole.
Ruby reports her findings to Tom, who acknowledges them with concern. He tells Ruby to be careful. Ruby promises.
Describe what's at the far end of the room, please. A door? A dispenser of sorts?
Ruby examines the room. There is a ladder leading up with a sealed metal hatch at the top and no visible means of opening it. There are two doors to the north, both with a symbol above them. There is a framed picture on the wall with some sort of illegible archaic writing on it. To the east, there is a heavily reinforced metal door with an inset card reader. There are two plaques on the display case. The top one is ineligible due to blood and rust. The second appears to be a request and/or warning label. A keycard slot is set just beneath the second plaque.
Warning, please do not tamper with case. Security system will activate. An alarm will sound. Please use caution. Open the door without the blood and the feeling of screamingly imminent doom.
The door on the right is unlocked. It opens into a small closet. On the north wall is a large glass front installment, like a vending machine, filled with all manner of pills and medicinal vials. There are two shelves here. On one shelf is a high-tech first aid kit. On the shelf above it is a pressurized oxygen tank with an oxygen mask attached. Ruby takes both items and adds them to her growing inventory. The first aid kit has a fingerprint lock on it. How high-tech.
May we see what Tom is doing?
Tom is making his way to the boards. This room is very strange.
Experiment time.
Tom begins breaking off the panels. He tosses one into the pit. It doesn't come back.
Ruby, use spade on vending machine to break glass. Examine content.
The glass on the vending machine is too sturdy to be broken like that. Apparently whoever designed it expected that to happen.
Is that a hole in the wall I spy?
There is a small hole in the wall of the closet.
I gotta go with this. Figuring out how the pit works is just one big headache, and I don't see any benefit. Just pry the wood away and check it out.
Tom finishes opening the hole down. There is a distant light from the other end.
Attempt to bump the vending machine.
Have you really never used a vending machine before? That won't work.
Poke cane into hole.
Great. It's stuck.
Go through the hole.
Tom arrives at the other end of the hatch. Tom feels strangely turned around.
Eyes. Eyes! Also examine fucking everything. Radio Ruby about this development post-haste.
Tom radios Ruby. Ruby hears his transmission, but there's some sort of strange echo. Perhaps he's nearby.
Examine fucking everything. You can take a wild guess of what dozens of people wanted Tom to do with that hole. Yeah.
There is a medical diagram on the wall above a stained medical examination table. On a small surface next to it is an anatomical eye model. Some sort of diagram is on the west wall. To the south, there is a locked door. There are also some papers on the exam table. There is also a set of medical tools lying on the table.
Tom, check the object in the upper left corner of the room.
It appears to be a camera.
Ruby, check third eye. See if it feels like it's still there.
It hurts.
Tom, help Ruby free the cane.
Ruby and Tom, realizing they're somehow on opposite sides of the same wall, work together to free the cane. Tom inspects the anatomical eye model. It's just a plastic standee model of an eyeball, like the kind they have in medical schools. However, when Tom picks it up, he finds a single coin underneath the base, which he then pockets. The diagram in the back is that of an eye with some sort of strange script annotating it. It seems very archaic. Tom picks up the papers on the exam table. Tom is not sure what to make of this letter. Accident report. On October 29th, after 5 months of redacted testing procedures and exams, we have suffered another setback to the project. Test subject number 7, aka Ruby, was the victim of a fatal accident. Ruby, redacted, suffered a redacted, as well as a severe fracture to the occipital bone. These injuries led to massive internal bleeding. Despite the best efforts of ACE, she redacted and died. It is believed that her blindness may have contributed to the accident. Ruby's body will be stored in cell number 7 as per redacted. It should be noted that this accident occurred soon after the death of subject number 1, Stitches, that any possibility for redacted. There's an attached photograph at the end of the letter.
Yes. Give coin to Ruby. Use coin on vending machine. Get the damn key already. No, Ruby must not know. Is it just me, or does it look like the injury that killed her is where her third eye is now? Nah, the injury is at the top of her skull. Ruby's eye was more on her forehead. Although, yeah, her injury and blindness are probably connected to her third eye.
This is too much to take in right now. Tom hastily pockets the letter and the photo. There will be time to sort this out later.
Letter reads,
It should be noted that this accident comes so soon after the death of subject number 1, Stitches.
So Ruby's dead? If that's the case, Tom's dead too, probably. They must have gotten whatever disease Stitches had, and they were being contained in the facility. They could be experiencing some sort of revival, but before the effects of becoming an abomination kicking in. The coffins, quote-unquote, that Ruby was in revive people. That is why Red blew himself up. He knew they would try again, so he gave them nothing to work with.
Tom shakily passes the coin to Ruby through the wall, thankful she can't see him like this. Ruby uses the vending machine and the coin to retrieve the gold key someone stashed there. Ruby noticed the door from the room outside to the medical room Tom's in now was locked. Perhaps this is that key.
Leave closet. Unlock medical room.
Ruby can't open the door from here, even if this is the correct key. The doorknob and lock on this side are stuffed and tightly wrapped with what appears to be hair.
Ruby, re-enter closet. Give key to Tom to unlock. Tom is manly enough to beat hair.
Ruby slips the key through the hole in the wall. It promptly falls down the shaft. Ruby hears footsteps coming from outside the closet.
Tom, you must retrieve the key.
Tom goes down the shaft to fetch the key. The footsteps are still coming from just outside the closet.
It's no use hiding. Have Ruby prepare the scalpel and confront someone outside. That way she may at least get a surprise round or something.
A figure appears in the doorway.
Alright. Oh my god. Oh fuck, it's Tom Nook. Big rabbit feet, jumbo-sized nut kick. Stab it. Good people knock or give a warning. Ask in a shaky voice who he is. Don't stab, but try to push away and get out of the confined space. Don't attack yet. Might not be evil. Stab it. If you wait, you will die. Stab it in the neck, now. Don't preemptively strike. Wave, say hi, interact. Aim for the neck if there is any sign of aggression. Wave timidly? Do whatever is required to stall for time. You are waiting for Tom to show up. Carefully ask if it's friend or foe. Upon incorrect answer, stab the frag out of it. You'll die or worse if you don't strike first. Don't attack immediately.
Ruby is so confused.
This is one of those few times when a deluge of posts kind of reflects what's going on in her head. Clutch head and scream for the voices to stop.
Ruby demands to know who the figure is. Her voice is shaking, but she tries to sound confident.
The suspense.
You're good.
But it's
Just zooming in.
It's not done zooming.
It's never gonna be done.
It better be. It's gotta be. How far in are we zooming in? Okay.
She recognizes that face. She's seen it twice before. She just didn't realize it was the same one until now.
Very carefully try to talk to him. Ask him what his name is.
Stitches. Stitches recoils slightly. His sewn-up head wound begins to bleed. He staggers uneasily backwards, glancing at Ruby, confused. How do I know you? He shrieks in a hoarse, rattling pitch.
Ruby, that's your name. It says so in the papers.
Ruby's papers don't mention Stitches at all. She's never heard the name Stitches before this creature shrieked it at her.
Click the broadcast button on the walkie behind your back twice quickly. It'll give 2 sharp static cracks on Tom's and hope he gets the idea.
Tom receives 2 bursts of static as he picks up the key. Something very strange is happening in this room. Stitches pauses momentarily. His expression changes and his eyes widen as he stares at his own hand.
Ruby should tell her name.
Ruby tells Stitches her name. Stitches freezes. Again, he stutters. How do I know you? He appears to prepare an attack, then suddenly turns and flees from the closet, wailing a rattling moan. Stay away from me, he shrieks. I'll only hurt you. With that, Stitches is gone. Tom hears the screaming and rushes back, key in hand.
Go after Stitches.
Ruby nearly
I lied.
Ruby nearly had a heart attack. She's not sure she could go after Stitches right now, even if she wanted to. And she's not sure she wants to.
Fuck that shit.
Tom unlocks the door.
Wait, read the diagram on the wall first.
Tom examines the diagram on the wall. Research and Diagnostic Facility 186-8. The Metal Glen. Land bridge, surface access,
Something
quarters, surveillance, security, diagnostic, subject cells, research way stations, maintenance storage,
yes.
Pre-construction order surrendering, W. Murdoch.
Clean up that blood.
Unfortunately, it's soaked into the old print, rather than simply hanging around on the outside of it. Tom unlocks the door. Tom and Ruby meet up again in the hall. Tom makes sure Ruby is okay. He reassures her things will be alright. Ruby and Tom speak briefly. Tom explains the growing rift in the lower level. Ruby tells Tom about Stitches. Tom reacts strangely to the name. When pressed, he explains he read it in a medical document. Stitches was officially recorded as dead.
Okay, ironic statement time. Ruby, show your shock at this news. But it can't have said that. The dead don't just walk around like they're still alive, do they? Both go inside the door that they are next to.
The reinforced door is still locked with a magnetic keycard strip. Something is beeping inside the first aid kit. The closer Ruby gets to the keycard slot, the louder it gets.
Now that you're at it, talk without BS already.
This is it. After that encounter with Stitches, Ruby knows she and Tom have to be 100% on the level. She can't keep it a secret anymore. She and Tom sit down by the door, and she tells him everything. The documents about her own involvement in the study, labeling her deceased, the visions of her own corpse, the injuries she sustained from the abomination in the maintenance room, her encounters with Red, even her third eye. She spills it all. She tells him everything. Tom says, as long as they're sharing secrets...
I was a spy all along.
There's something Ruby should know about, too.
Extra arms for extra hugs. Jesus fucking Christ, he's a gene stealer. Kill him. Ruby, tell Tom now isn't the time. There might be cameras around.
As unsettling it is to realize each other's bizarre mutations, Ruby and Tom find a strange comfort in knowing they're both in this together now. If nothing else, they no longer have to fear each other or hide secrets.
Ruby, open the beeping medical kit with the severed finger.
The first aid kit beeps louder whenever Ruby gets close to the key card slot for the fitted on the big reinforced door. But the first aid kit is locked with a fingerprint scanner.
Have Tom and Ruby try their own fingers, all of them. on the kit scanner.
None of their 28 combined fingers and thumbs work.
Regroup in a safer room. What items do we have?
Tom and Ruby return downstairs and compare inventories.
Use medical tools on hole.
Tom uses some forceps to reach deep into the hole in the wall and retrieves yet another access card.
Can Ruby use her dormant MacGyver powers to combine the spade and the cane into a more deadly weapon?
Ruby wedges the cane into the shovel head to create a bludgeony cane shovel.
Bludgeony cane shovel. Medium simple weapon. 1d10. Bludgeoning damage. Critical range 19 to 20. Versatile. There appears to be something sticking partway out from behind the Mr. Water Cooler. Tom is about eye level to it, so he should look. All as Ruby's busy staring at his rear.
Tom sees something behind the water cooler. Tom retrieves Red's hand. It must have been blown here after the explosion. So which will it be? Will they go together to the hand scanner downstairs with Red's hand, or do they go together to the display case upstairs? Or do they split up and do both at the same time? Ruby and Tom descend to the lower levels to find the power and lighting have returned. Tom gives Ruby Red's hand, and she presses it to the scanner. It beeps lightly, and a small light turns green. The machine boots up slowly and provides a short prompt. User login, Red. Processing data, verifying. Video playback activated, October 29th. Some kind of video feed begins playing.
So Red always carries handy do not open stickers with him. Hide the body in a box, then slap a do not open sticker on it. Genius!
The video ends.
It's okay to cry, Ruby.
Tears will have to wait.
Dun dun dun! Are these always here? Oh.
Just one thing I wanted to add. I don't think I'm spoiling anything by saying the keycard from the hole in the wall does indeed work on the display case, as you all expected. For the record, however, smashing open the case would have sprung a lethal security system. Yes, it would have killed Tom. Luckily, a few smarter posters got the tool idea in first, but if they hadn't, I was ready to have him die.
Oh, well, Tom is alive. So, we will see you guys in the next chapter, chapter 6. So, keep winning in life, guys.
Bye.
Bye.